Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. This is the PAPAJO show where Papa Joe knows. I am your host, Papa Joe. Today I'm joined with Litecoin Lisa and Clint Westwood. What's going on, y'all?
Hey there. Thanks for having us.
Glad to have you, man. So I just wanted to get together and just kind of chat, see how y'all doing, what you got going on in your worlds. Kind of throw out there any fun things coming up in the space. Looks like Clint's having some
A
audio
little
issues,
technical
maybe
issue there.
technical
There
issues
he,
there.
I'm
Can you hear
back.
us now?
Yes,
he's
I'm good. It's
here.
me. It was on me. I'll admit it.
Stepped too
He's
far away and
joining us.
yanked it out.
I
Yeah.
guess.
So Westwood and I do our happy hour show every Friday. Um,
Yeah, check
and
that out.
I don't even know how many years we've been doing this now. I don't know.
It's been
A
a few.
while.
Yeah.
Been a few years.
Yeah.
And it's typically like current events, but mostly focused around cryptocurrency, freedom, all that kind of stuff. We've known you for a couple of years now and get to see you at different meetups and events.
Mhm.
And I think with the great gingivitis outbreak, I think my friend Satoshi Shawn calls it, a lot of us need that connection more and more.
Sure.
And these opportunities where we're, have these great communities in the live chat and then have opportunities to get together. I've started doing a show on Mondays with Bix Weir's wife, Amy Weir,
Oh,
and
cool.
their daughter, Paige, and my daughter, Carly.
Okay.
And so we're doing all the things that we would have taught my daughter, Mia. Um, and so we're calling it Mighty Sirens. So
Okay.
we're
Yep.
Mighty Mermaids. And we just got done with a book study on boundaries. We did a great book study on that. And Amy has a website and a method of doing a raw food
Okay.
cleanse.
Yeah, I think
And
Bix has talked
so,
about that. Yeah.
yeah, he's done it a couple times on his show and a couple different things. And so we're going to start that here towards the end of this month.
Okay.
So that's going to be on Mondays, and then we'll do that. I think it's 21 days, so 3 weeks long,
Mhm.
and she takes us through the process, and then I'll have like a supplement area where we can kind of chat throughout the week and give each other some moral support and recipes and different things like that too. And
Okay.
then we're planning on trying to get together for kind of a celebration and a meetup and something. We're not sure if we're going to do it in Florida or Arizona, but somewhere warm.
Yeah.
After all that, so probably mid-February is kind of the next thing, the next target on our
Very cool.
radar. So
Yeah.
that's kind of the next.
That would be interesting, depending on where you are doing that. I might be in the vicinity and come by and say hi and whatnot, depending on
cool.
where it is. We'll talk about that later. But if you want to do me a favor and send me over the links to those things, your show and all that stuff, I'll drop them in the description of the video when we're done with the show
Absolutely.
here.
Thanks. Yeah.
Westwood, what you got going on, man?
I'm actually in the middle of doing a reset or a reboot right now with the food stuff. I started Monday,
Fun.
this past Monday, and I do it the way I want to do it because I don't like following any directions. I just use guidelines. So it's supposed to be 9 days. Mitch is doing it too. He's like, "Hey, let's do it." I'm like, "Yeah, that's fine. Whatever. I need to cleanse." But no, I just eating raw foods, no alcohol, no cigars. I haven't had a drink or any cigars since last happy hour, and I'm not going to have one today. It's going to be dry.
Okay.
Oh, fun.
Yeah,
Dry
it's
happy hour.
like 9 days is what I'm going to do, and then I may go 12. I don't know. We may take it to the next week and just see how I feel. I just kind of go with if I'm feeling better, which I already am, and
Good.
more. Yeah, so I'm kind of in the process of doing that. We need to cleanse ourselves, especially right now, so that we can kind of reconnect with our spiritual selves, I think, in this time that we're transitioning into. So just kind of felt the need. I should probably do that and get prepared.
Sure. Y'all making me feel lazy. I have not. I am so busy doing so many other things, like legit, like right before this, I told you guys, I'm finishing up a call, jumped right into this, and as soon as I'm done with this, I'm jumping into another call, and it was just like back to back, back to back, back to back. And I was like, y'all make me feel lazy because I'm sitting here going, I'm just eating when I can, what I can.
But I think that's what they want. And when I say they, I'm the
Yeah.
conspiracy theory girl, so I'm always talking
We're
about the
in
they.
good company. We're all together
But
on that.
yeah, I'm watching our food, change.
Yeah.
So we are seeing some good things. I saw in Oklahoma, at least they are passing a bill to get rid of the fluoride in our water, and some other
Cool.
good things
It's
around
a
our
good start.
food and stuff. So
Definitely a good start.
How do you? I mean, well, if they get rid of that, they're gonna probably maybe try to replace it with something else. I would be like, watch them. You know what I mean? Just make sure that they're like, oh yeah, we're gonna take that out. You're used to that now, and we're gonna add this, and not tell anybody, kind of thing.
yeah, I think we're on a different trajectory. Like I think
Okay.
we've turned the corner.
I agree
Um,
with you. I feel the
in
same way.
Yeah, in Oklahoma specifically. So we have a constitutional governor,
Yep.
and that did some things really quietly and was protecting the people
Good.
during the gingivitis outbreak. So
Good.
that was really awesome. And now that we're, like I said, we've turned this corner. In fact, one of my good friends, she's actually my youngest two's godmother, and she's a pediatrician. She was the medical director for the state of Oklahoma for child welfare for a while.
Oh, wow,
She
okay.
ran a foster care pediatric clinic for years, and he just placed her, I don't know what the official term is or whatever, as the director of human services for all of the state of Oklahoma.
Oh,
And so he's repositioning people in his cabinet that are that kind of servant minded,
sure.
constitutional, truthers. Like, so there's a lot of good things happening in Oklahoma.
I have noticed a shift. I was talking to somebody else about that. I think it was last week. It was just something's different now. It's different in a positive manner, but it's one of those things where you start to see, like, we'll call it the enemy is actually coming out of their shell, so to speak, and it's getting very nasty. But at the same time, you can tell that the good is winning. You can see it, and it's actually you can feel it even. And I've enjoyed that a lot personally, just to kind of see.
So when did it happen, Lisa? I got it in my head. I know when it happened. I felt when it happened. You know when the shift happened? The most recent shift, do you think? Did you have an epiphany on it or any kind of feelings on it?
Oh, when I was so sick over the you mean the most recent one with the full moon thing?
I think that's when it was. I think it was last Friday, January 6th, because then you saw the House sworn in and you saw a total.
Yeah.
Everybody thought McCarthy was a swamp rat, including myself, and he may have been. It's just
I think he's the king of misrule. Yeah.
But look what's happened. I mean, look what's happening. They're pushing out a whole different narrative, and they're taking action. And he's either pressed into doing it, or he's made some sort of great change. But I've seen a change since then. A big change this week.
I think there's a lot of good people trapped in a bad system, and those good people have had enough, and they've teamed up. They figured out, oh, you're a good person too. You're a good person too. And there's more of us than there are of them. Let's go take care of business now. And I wonder if that's that is where they go, okay, here's the time, go. We're ready.
Well, you're seeing those. I don't know if it was a letter to the CIA director. I think it was to Brennan. And they were like, I've been working, you are a, baby killer, this, and you've made us do these things, and we're tired of it. And this guy, and Uncle Cliff says this is the year of the whistleblower. And you can really see that where people are like, wait, we've been doing what for what? They think they're doing their job, serving their country for one intention. And then they find out, it's really to pad the politicians' pockets and where all this is really going, I mean, just the idea of putting a bust of Zelensky in the halls of Congress.
I saw that. It made me mad. I was just like,
oh.
Well, they got to have something to graffiti, don't they, when they walk through there and get frustrated?
That'd be the only thing.
Yeah. I was thinking, what part of the movie are we in right now? I'm thinking it's Corvette Confidential. That's kind of what I'm thinking. Isn't that kind of what we're dealing with? We got the Corvette.
3 scoops now.
It's locked in the garage. It was locked along with my Corvette. It's fine. And you got pictures of the garage door open.
And Hunter lived there.
Too. Right. I mean, it's so obviously blatant.
Yeah.
Then you had the, I think that we'll call it Delta was on the 11th with the boom, 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 boom. So 4 booms. And I'm wondering if those documents, they found 3 sets now. I'm wondering if there's going to be a 4th one today, or
interesting.
That would be very interesting to see the week.
Yeah, because the boom, 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 boom.
Yeah, 4 booms. Yeah. So
no, that's a good point.
I don't know if that's what that is.
I like that.
It makes sense. That, or we're going to start seeing, this whole thing is that first start, we've got maybe 2 or 3 of them with the whole the swearing in of everything, then the defunding of the 87,000 agents, and then now they're talking about actually putting. Where did I put it? I put it over here. They're actually
An
putting
investigation into the Fed.
and they're doing this. They're trying to put the bill there, even though that's been said it's going to be vetoed. And I saw something.
Depends who's president, I guess. That's who's who's vetoing.
Exactly.
But you never know.
Exactly. That's
You
kind
see
of why
the
I was
IRS
like,
came out and said the $600 for Venmo, PayPal transactions. We're putting that off till 2024 now.
Yep.
Forget about what we said.
Yep.
So you see these things kind of like slow rolling out, kind of getting pushed back. And it's almost like, okay, you see the push from, let's call it the good side of things. The light is kind of pushing all that darkness to the back and keeping us away from it, I think.
Yep. I think that you're starting to see all of these things come around. And like I said, somebody pointed out, I forget who it was. I know I shared it amongst the channels. My listeners have probably, I know they've seen it. Because I have a Telegram channel and all this other stuff for them. But when it comes into what's going on right now with the documents being found, I think they're going to say bye. We'll call them flashbang. I like to call them flashbang because you hear 1 second, gone the next kind of thing.
Yeah.
That's what Monkey Works calls him.
Exactly. That's why I stole it. I even told him. He's like, "If you ever watch this, I'm stealing this from you, man."
Yeah.
So no, we'll call.
But it's also a mirror. Everything that they have accused Trump of, they're actually doing.
There's that, and I also think that they're trying to set a precedence so that way they're going to make it to where this is so bad that Trump can't even be back in because they're going to sacrifice flashbang. The thing is that if Kamala steps into that hot seat, I don't know if that's even possible.
She's not eligible.
Okay,
she's an anchor baby.
Okay, well then there you go. Then that would put McCarthy in the hot seat. And then if McCarthy's doing these different things, that brings in the whole discussion about what's happening afterwards, what gets announced, things like that. So I don't really know if certain things, I'm trying to be vague because this channel is very
delicate.
Very delicate.
We know all the dancing that we do.
Oh yes.
Did you ever think, like growing up, as a kid, I was always so, proud, lived in America. I mean, typical American pie, 4th of July, America's the best country in the world, freedom, the whole bit. And now we literally are 3 friends that have known each other for years and are afraid about what we're going to say in a conversation to each other.
Irritating. It is. Like, I can't just be blunt and just like, here's this, and this. And it's like all of a sudden, it is beyond irritating. I tried figuring out how to do the live streams with some of the other platforms.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm technical. And I'm sitting here going, I don't see how some people figure this out. I actually wonder if it's like they either know someone or something about their account's different or something. I can't get it to stream on some of those things.
I can't either. That's where people are like, why don't you just use this and just use that? And I'm like,
they're uploading the videos later. I can do that.
Yeah, you can upload the video later to Rumble. You can upload to a lot of those things, but you can't stream live to it.
Right. And I don't have time to edit videos or upload videos. I have the time I have to do the show, and that's it.
Yeah.
And that's where they got you, because they've got all the money, the funding, from 3-letter agencies to push forward the platforms with everything built into it, ready to go, to make it easy, to get you hooked on it. And then they're like, oh, you have your YouTube channel, which it isn't yours. And then they pull it for whatever reason that they want.
Yep.
That's just what they do. And
Gary Gensler teaches in his MIT class. Here, PAPAJO, I'll send you this link. Oh gosh, I lost you guys. Where
do it in the private chat here.
I know, but I don't even know where I am.
Welcome to the Twilight Zone.
Oh, wait. Oh, there I am. I was like, oh no, what tab am I on? So in Gary Gensler, the head of SEC, he taught at MIT, and he let his students know just that there are market makers, and and
yeah.
it's a big club and you're not in it. And if you create a product that will disrupt those markets, you have to either give them part of your company or create a token to give them part of your company, because they will not let you get ahead. And he explains it in this video.
So I need to open up a different tab if I'm going
Oh,
to
it
show
won't
the
let you do
audio.
the, anyway.
Well, I use Brave. What I'll
Okay.
do, guys and gals, is I'll put this in the description of the video as well. But this is the tweet that's on it. Actually, if you're following me on Twitter, I'm going to retweet it.
Yeah, retweet it, and then they can go watch it.
Go watch it. I just retweeted it.
It's criminal because actually, like, it's actually there's a law called the Hobbs Act that if you impede what's it called, economic growth in the US or something like that, industry innovation, that's like an offense, which I'm not a lawyer. Look into it, everyone, on your own, whatever. But I don't know. It's just incredible when you look at these big, the big club that stops the little guy from getting ahead. And that is the American dream, that, you could have an idea, you could have, or build a company or do something, and that we would all be on an even playing field, and it just seems like that's not possible.
It's funny how I still can't get my head wrapped around the fact that he actually taught blockchain technology at MIT. Either he's playing dumb now or he legit is dumb with what he's doing. And I would, if I was hiring anyone who took his class, I would definitely second guess that kind of thing. You know what I mean? The reason being is because, like, y'all know this, I've been in the blockchain space since almost the beginning, and it was because of the technology that I got into it. So I really dissect the architecture and things like that. So when it gets into this stuff, I'm like, do you understand that blockchain technology is freedom for humanity, and that if you appropriately build it, they can't actually stop this stuff? The powers that be, if it's disruptive to the point where they actually can't just go flip a switch, turn it off.
And that's what Hinman was saying before, when he was was that if it was decentralized, it wasn't a security.
Exactly.
Exactly. So
it can't be a security because someone's not issuing it. That's the
I got one
important thing there.
I got one quick question since we're going into mining a little bit. You brought this up yesterday, Lisa. So, PAPAJO, do you know when you're mining Litecoin and Dogecoin, do you get rewards from both chains since it's dual mined, or is there something special you need to do?
I haven't.
Generally.
So the miners that are specific for script, I have not tried that yet. I haven't pointed to both yet, so I can't answer that. If anyone,
I'm curious if it uses more computing power at that point. Do you kind of?
It would if I had to,
or splits it in some way.
From an educated guess, it's probably the miner can only produce X amount of hash. It's probably splitting it.
Okay.
And I don't know how that would work either, because you would have to somehow be able to take the energy that it's producing, or the compute that it's producing, and somehow split it amongst the two. That, or it's working on both at the same time, and whatever it finds, that's where it picks up, kind of thing.
Okay.
I'd have to go.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. I'm just curious how it works. I don't know. I don't have the
either that or it's a pool. Like, you guys, have you ever done any auto switching pools? No? Okay. You used to, and you still can. If you can point a miner to an auto switching pool where whatever's most profitable at that time, and there's an interval, it'll automatically switch what your energy is put to, and then you'll just get a portion of that into there. It could be something similar to that, because that's still an algorithm that's taking that. Because I could point the mining equipment to, I remember back in the day, you pointed at this one pool, and it would be mining Litecoin or Dogecoin or whatever is the script miners, or I had different, I had SHA-256 miners. You just point there, and it would just go through those scripts, whatever, or those algorithms based off of whatever was most profitable, I guess, in a 30-minute window, kind of thing.
Gotcha.
And I could see something like that being what they're doing, but I don't see how you split the hashing power.
Yeah, that was the thing I always. Yeah. Do you have to make a choice, or I don't know.
Unless there's an update to the controller on the ASICs, where you can go in and enter two different things, and then you can maybe inside there tell it what it's doing. But that would have to be an update or a patch to the actual controller boards, which is that would have to come from the manufacturer, if I had to guess.
Okay.
Didn't have to. It's Linux. Someone could go build their own, we'll call it flavor, and make it to where they can adjust it, I guess. Little more in the weeds. Sorry, y'all.
No, that's all right. So instead
You're
of the
good.
vanilla ice cream cone or the chocolate ice cream cone, we get the swirl ice cream cone. That flavor.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah, there we
I
go.
could see it if it was the appropriate operating system, but
Okay.
or the end pool wherever they're mining against. Yeah.
Okay. No, just thought I'd throw it out there. 'Cause it was
I used
on
to
my
have
mind.
a small data center footprint of mining equipment, and back then you had to run your own node to mine against it. There wasn't any pools or anything like that back then. So yeah, life happened and all that went away. And if I ever get back into it, it will be on an industrial scale, massive industrial scale. But the right people got to be.
Is that the only way you can really make money
I mean,
mining anymore?
No, you can go get you a miner and do it at home and further decentralize it. Your power bill is going to go up, and at current prices, you're going to be paying more in power than you're going to be getting out of your miner. But if you're looking at it from a purely investment standpoint, you're going to continue to grow the amount that you have, and over time, it'll surpass what you end up spending on your power. It's just one of those you have to be willing to eat that off the front right now. Otherwise, you go spend a couple $100 million in equipment and then set it up and run it. Yeah. It's a big. You either go big or you have to realize that it's going to cost a lot up front. Just a slow drain until it all flips, and then it's
once again that club, where the little guy can't get ahead.
But I mean, if you're in a cold climate though, and it's fairly reasonable on electric, it's not way out of whack. I mean, you're heating the house or heating the room or doing that kind of thing. So that, I mean, you look at that trade-off too, and so you got to weigh it. But for me, it was never worth it because I'm like, I'll just use my burning fiat and just throw it at it, and just go that route, instead of doing that. But I can see definite benefits to it. Like out here in the bar, it'd be nice to have one running and keep it warm all winter.
I mean, I was going to say, if you make the room you're in there a hot room, which is where all of the heat exhausts and it pulls the cool air from somewhere else,
which I can definitely do in the winter.
Yeah, you're heating the room and you do it that way. I still kept some test devices, and I don't have them running right now, but last winter I had them all running and blowing into the room I'm in right now, and all that heat just kept the room warm. It was fantastic. And I was offsetting, I guess, the heat cost on that.
The heat bill,
by getting the coins,
correct. Yeah. So there's lots of ways you can recoup energy off of that. If you had enough mining equipment, you could, well, I mean, on an industrial scale, I guess if you had enough mining equipment, you could kind of do what the reactors are doing and turn a turbine with hot air and then regenerate energy doing it that way.
Well, because energy doesn't ever end. It just transfers.
It transfers.
So if you're always able to capture it, or if you can capture enough of it, yeah, that's really interesting.
I learned that lesson when I was in high school, and I was building computers, and I was competing to overclock the computer without destroying the computer. And there was this thing that came out, was called a phase change. And a phase change is basically a freezer that goes directly on the CPU, and it takes that heat and then cools it off, and then it turns it into other heat into the room. So whenever I sit there and go, it's just energy transferring into another energy, and it's just, and it's just that's what clicked for me on that particular thing. But anyway,
that's really cool.
Went really technical for everybody. Sorry.
It's all good because we're all energy transfers. It's just, our energy goes wherever, it comes here to Earth, leaves Earth, goes somewhere else. I mean, it never dies. I mean, none of this stuff. So, it's why we're here. Anyway.
Good stuff.
Well, cool. There was one other thing, Lisa, you wanted to chat about. And that was this dragon chain, correct?
Yeah, definitely. So on Thursday mornings, my friend Satoshi Shawn invited me to World Blockchain Roundtable, and it's run by and runs on dragonchain. And then they have a project that runs on dragonchain called Den.social, and I have a layer or
Okay.
layer. My southern
Dragon's
accent.
lair.
I'm saying it both ways, but my accent sometimes throws people off. So it's a layer that
You
is
gotta
a
come down where I'm
layer.
at. Layers.
Yeah. And a layer like a dragon layer, Lair. So if you go to den.social and look for the mighty lair, you just search in mighty, and then you can join the mighty lair. And I put a weekly post in there, and people can like comment about, what show they liked for the week, or if there was something funny they liked or didn't like, or what they want me to talk about. We've had a couple people bring up and ask, hey, I'd love to hear Westwood opine about this or that or whatever. Give us a Westwood rant about this subject or that subject. And so then I can pull it up on Friday, and the top 3 comments, I give them layer ownership tokens. So then it's actually a DAO, or it could be a DAO, but you can earn layer ownership tokens, and then when we have proposals, you can put a proposal in, and we can vote on different things. Anyway, so
Is this what
trying
you
to,
said? Mighty.
yeah, mighty. So we're playing around with that one,
Okay.
and there's and you can also see on there's the COPA cover up that you scrolled past. I'm also part of the Veritasium DAO, the
Okay.
Veri DAO.
I'd be curious to
And
figure out a little more about that.
yeah, we have a YouTube channel that we do a lot of updates on, and that's been a really amazing project. I've learned a lot by being part of that. And
Okay.
Reggie's really knowledgeable. He's got the lawsuit against Coinbase and now Circle, and his 3rd patent just came through. So
Great. That was
very
the other,
exciting stuff.
that was something about dragonchain. They actually have several patents as well, it looks
Mhm.
like. I don't know. I haven't dug into them yet, but I'm going to, just because the people behind this, I did a little research on them. My due diligence, the way I do it is I look at a project. I go, okay, who built it, and what's
Yeah.
their experience, and then if they don't check out, I don't do anymore. What is the project even doing?
Yeah. So
Because
Joe
yeah,
Rotes is
yep,
the head of Dragon Chain. Really solid guy. And he worked for Disney,
yep,
worked for the FBI. So those things made me go, huh? But I've met him.
yeah.
He's a really amazing person.
Just because you work at Disney doesn't make you a bad person. Like I
That's
said
right.
earlier, there's a lot of good people trapped in a bad system,
Yeah.
and it is a choice at some point. And when people get into, like, I know there are people at Disney, just people that I'm through connected. They're believers. They love the Lord, that kind of stuff,
Yeah.
and they're in there and they're taking a stand, and they're literally, basically, if things don't change, they're walking away, and that company will crumble just from that
Right.
alone because of who it is and where it is and what they're doing in there. Lockheed Martin, which is interesting.
Yeah.
Worked at
He's
Coinbase,
he is
CompuWare.
brilliant. And he's made some real significant, sacrifices and
I'm sure.
changes for his family, and for truth, like for him. And he gets very he gets very frustrated about the number go up maxis, and he
I
believes
hate
that really ruined Bitcoin and
it. Did.
cryptocurrency.
And then it's not ruined, but it's toxic. And
It's
I've been in
toxic.
and around them, and I've been in this longer than anyone I've met yet. I know who some people are who've been in it longer. Actually, I take that back. I have met Max Kaiser. He's been in it longer than I have. But like, they're all of them, they're all like just Bitcoin, and it's like, you realize that it was not meant to be that way. Bitcoin's a one-trick pony, and you are literally focusing on a single thing. This other stuff
One
is all
problem.
business and
Yeah.
industry. This
Yeah.
is
You're saying that no other problem exists,
right.
and blockchain can solve a lot of problems. And when you say that Bitcoin's the only way, then you're saying that we should keep all these other broken systems. Yeah.
It's very irritating to see people like that get so honed in on this one thing and unwilling to even listen, and they're rude about it. It
Oh
was
my God.
it was like
I had one threaten my life, so
Okay.
there's that.
No fun. I will have to figure out that story later.
Yeah. Mhm.
Well, I think it would be fun to just have one kind of beer, right? That's it.
Sure.
Just
That's a good
one.
way to put
Everybody
it.
drinks the same thing, right?
That's a good way to put
It'd
it.
be fun.
Or I've gotten into different.
I get to choose the beer though.
Right,
I
there
get to
you go.
choose.
You get to choose it.
Westwood flavor.
Yeah.
Westwood flavor.
You
Yeah,
should make
better.
your own,
Well,
buddy, and call it
Westwood whiskey.
we've talked about it. We've talked
Yep.
about one of these days, when Moon, we're going to have
Yep.
a distillery and have a little, I think a bourbon or something for Westwood or something.
That would
Yeah,
be
and,
Westwood whiskey.
a
It rolls
vodka
off the
for
tongue.
whiskey.
better.
There you go.
Westwood
Westwood
whiskey.
whiskey. Yeah.
Go up to the Buffalo Trace and see if they'll do one for you or something real quick.
Yeah, I mean, because a lot of them they'll do a label, for you.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, cool guys, and I really appreciate y'all coming on. I want to be respectful of your time and everything. So it's always fun catching up with you guys. It's a lot of fun. I really enjoy it, and hopefully we'll get to see you guys here really soon at some of the events coming up this year. I haven't decided if I'm going to any yet. Kind of poking around, seeing who's going where and doing what. But yeah, I'll circle back with you guys and figure that out, and maybe we can have some fun later.
That sounds great. We'd love to
Sounds
on our
wonderful.
show too. You'll have to come on the happy hour with us sometime.
I'd be happy to. Done it before, absolutely loved it, and yeah, we'll have some fun with it.
We'll do that again.
Yeah. All right. So I'm gonna pull us out, and you guys have a great rest of the day, and I'll be right back. Okay.
Okay.
See ya.